Welcome to Wales and the Vauxhall Rally of Wales, the first of 5 rounds of the Mobile One Top Gear British Rally Championship. Ranging from the infamous Kielder Forest for the Pirelli International Rally to Perth and the rough tracks of Scotland for the Scottish Rally. Then on to Northern Ireland for the first of the tarmac rounds, the Ulster. And finally, back across the water for the Manx International Rally. First off, on this year's opening round, the reigning British champion Alistair McRae with David Senior in a Ford Escort Cosworth. McRae drove a similar car on last year's Network Q RAC rally and finished a superb 4th. As part of his game plan to move forward in rallying and hopefully emulate his illustrious brother Colin in the World Championship, Alistair has now forsaken the 2-wheel drive, 2-litre cars, the only ones eligible for championship points. The 511-mile rally is based in Chester and includes 147 miles of special stages, mostly in the forests of North and Central Wales. So which of the works entries in the championship should we be looking out for this year?
Ford have an impressive lineup for Wales. Their drivers tipped to go very well over the next 2 days. Gwyndaf Evans is sure to feel at home. Finland's Jarmo Kutuletto a potential threat to the Welshman. Neil Simpson drives Gwyndaf's old Escort. Stephanie and Rachel Simonite defend their latest title. Challenging for manufacturer's supremacy, Volkswagen hope to give Ford a run for their money. Heading Volkswagen's bid, Finland's Tapio Laukkanen. On his first British visit, another Finn, Jukka Puhakka. And completing the Volkswagen trio, Lincolnshire's Ashley Blenkhorn. They took the limelight in 1995. Nissan are determined to go all out in their defence of the championship. This time around, Nissan pin their hopes on Mark Higgins and sharing the load, Turkey's Ercan Kazaz. There's a first time for everything, of course. Skoda will be making their debut appearance in the British Championship. At the wheel, Bridgenorth's Steve Wedgbury. Peugeot are here, but with their new 306 still under construction, reigning junior champion Neil Weirden will drive his own car in Wales.
Go 150, late 4 left sharp on crest.
And so to battle, and little surprise that those 2 wise old heads, Evans and Davis, were setting the Formula 2 pace in their own backyard. Gwyndaf actually set the fastest overall time on the second stage of the event. The murky conditions around Clochainog would pose real problems. Fortunately for Evans, he knew the place like the back of his hand. Appearing through the gloom, teammate Jarmo Kutuletto could have done with a share of Gwyndaf's local knowledge. The Finns slid off in stage 2, and then again in a big way in stage 3. Kutuletto's chance of victory turned on its head. He was a long way from home, but with the help of some newfound friends, the Finn was dragged back on track. It was already proving to be an eventful visit to the valleys.
How much time did this cost you, Jarmo?
4 or 5 minutes, I think.
What do you think of the conditions, the fog?
Difficult.
The conditions have been really difficult there. The fog has been really nasty, but you know, it's the same for everybody, I suppose. At the end of the day, that's the only consolation.
Of course, some drivers actually prefer fog or say they quite like it, and others hate it. Which category are you in?
I hate it.
Neil Simpson hoped that Gwyndaf's old Escort would bring him luck. That was dashed, a broken drive shaft, 1-wheel drive, and an early exit. With 4 Formula 2 wins back in his homeland already this year, Tapio Laukkanen is one of the most highly rated of the Finnish drivers. Some early running repairs to his Golf proved a handicap, though. It cost him half a minute in penalties. He still managed to keep tabs with rival Gwyndaf Evans. Teammate Jukka Puhakka has never before ventured beyond his native Finland. A trip into the fog-bound Welsh forest, a radical departure. No gorillas, but gremlins in the mist for Ashley Blenkhorn. He stopped in stage 3 and didn't restart.
Having better luck was Mark Higgins in the Nissan Sunny, but he and Phil Mills would lose vital seconds passing Cutoletto's incident on the last of the Clockeinog stages.
40, right 6 of a crest, and left 5, 40.
Manxman Higgins, who now runs a rally school in mid-Wales, was well on the pace. He was 6th overall and 2nd of the F2 cars. Teammate Ercan Kazaz was rallying on British soil for the first time, but the Turkish asphalt champion and his vastly experienced British co-driver Roger Freeman were taking no risks as the friendly Turks started to acclimatise.
So how are you enjoying the Welsh weather, Ercan?
I think the fog is helping me a lot, because the thing is, if I was trying to learn the notes and all these roads in a clear weather, the difference could have been bigger.
We did about 20 miles with this particular car on Wednesday, so this is really a rally to get ourselves into everything. And I didn't like the way it started off, but it's going to get better, I think, now, and hopefully we'll have a bit more of a crack later on.
Fog is absolutely, how can I say, grand catastrophe for me.
What did you say?
Grand catastrophe for me.
Oh, grand catastrophe.
Welcome return visitors to the series are the Renault team from France. This year they've entered the new Megane, this one driven by French tarmac specialist Serge Jourdain. More at home in the second Megane is Robbie Head, this year co-driven by Brian Thomas. Renault are the first team to arrive with the so-called kit car. The state-of-the-art 2-litre two-wheel drive cars have more modifications than are allowed in the standard Group A. But the bigger spoilers, wheel arches and more highly tuned engines, among other things, make the car ineligible for championship points this year.
Now then, what's happened here, Robbie?
I think it's the head gasket that's gone in the engine. So about 2 or 3 kilometres from the end of that last stage, the windscreen started misting up and I could see water coming out from the scuttle in front of the windscreen. We got to the end of the stage and it was smoking, so that's it. Finished.
So you're out?
Afraid so.
As the rally passed through the Penmachno stages near Betws-y-Coed, Alistair McRae had really stamped his authority on the rally. With its anti-turbo lag system chattering happily, the Malcolm Wilson-prepared Escort Cosworth was a full minute ahead of its nearest challenger. Yet McRae was well within his limits. McRae's strongest competition came in the shape of Harry Mockanen driving another Cosworth prepared in Cumbria, this time by Mike Little. Mockanen drove a Nissan Sunny in last year's championship, but did his reputation no good with a series of incidents. On this event, after earlier holding the radiator, the cheerful Finn was going well but taking no risks for once. Wales was awash with Finns for the weekend of the rally, many of them driving in the Group N four-wheel drive production class. This is Ollie Harkey, who won the category here last year and was ahead again. Hot on his heels at this point was the rising Finnish junior star Harry Rovanperä, driving another Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Driving this borrowed car for the first time, he was nevertheless keeping a good 2 minutes ahead of yet another Finn in yet another Lancer. This one is the current Finnish Group N champion, Mika Korhonen. Last year's British Group N champion, Trevor Cathers, made a rare mistake in his Subaru Impreza. As darkness fell, the fog returned. But Gwyndaf Evans, with his local knowledge, continued to set a blistering pace among the F2 runners and head the championship as the route moved northwards.
I'm on the promenade at New Brighton on the Wirral Peninsula of all places. It's the scene of the last 2 stages of day 1 before the cars toddled back to Chester. Now, to be perfectly honest, the drivers aren't over-enamoured with these so-called Mickey Mouse stages, but it does bring rallying to the public, and as you can see, the crowds love it.
An estimated 5,000 people turned up to watch the action on the 2 circuits of this 2.3-mile stage, despite it being a bitterly cold night. Gwyndaff Evans, heading a bunch of F2 cars, set fastest time on the first circuit, showing that F2 power can outpace 4x4 sure-footedness on occasions. But Mokkonen turned the tables on the second. So, at the end of day one, McRae held a 47-second lead over Mokkonen. Gwyndaff Evans' F2 car headed the Group N Lancers of Harkey and Rovanperä. Then three more F2 runners, Higgins, Laukkanen and Puhakka. Before the car set off on day two, we asked some of the team managers why the British Championship is so important to them.
It really is the big marketplace in which to show our cars against sort of their peer group competitors. So Volkswagen Golf against Renault Megane and all those sorts of things. It really is very vital to the marketing effort.
If you can do well in this championship, then you're pretty certain you can do well in other parts of the world as well.
We have to be there this year. We have to defend the title, and we have to show people we can still do the business.
Now, what do you think of the entry this year on this first event?
It's fantastic, and it's good competition at the front.
I think it's extremely encouraging because F2 has really sort of taken a hold in this country, and we tried to stabilise the rules for a few years, and it really seems to be paying off now, and it's very, very encouraging indeed.
Day two would see the field venture into mid-Wales for the much-enjoyed fast-flowing stages, including those in the Dyfi Forest. While the scrap for the Formula 2 honours continued behind him, the defending British champion Alistair McRae appeared in a class of his own. Having breezed through the tricky opening day conditions, McRae's four-wheel drive Escort stormed into the second leg, hoping to add to his 45-second overnight lead. You wouldn't have guessed it by his spectacular display, but Alistair had to battle against illness too throughout the second leg. Helped by a spot-on choice of tyres, he piled on the pressure, taking chunks of time out of the chasing pack. McRae was fast disappearing into the distance and into an uncatchable lead. Harry Mokkonen may have started the second day with McRae in his sights, but his slim hopes of closing the gap were washed away as McRae carved out a 2-minute cushion through Maherin and Sweet Hafren. The day one mist and fog had been replaced by rain. It was difficult to know which was worse.
It's actually not as bad as yesterday, although it's raining now. The fog isn't so bad, so it's more fun.
So are you happy with everything?
Yeah, the car's good. We've sorted the brake problem we had yesterday. So we'll just wait and see what time Harry Mokkonen did in there.
Alistair was very fast just this stage, and I think he knows a little bit better this stage. But no, we haven't any problems. Everything working, and we changed tire a little bit different compound. We're learning car.
So McRae set to mop up from Mokkonen in the overall rally, but the F2 contest was still alive, and Gwyndaff Evans was kicking hard.
7 left, forward.
Egged on by the hardy home support, Evans was in top form. The rain didn't seem to be bothering Gwyndaff or his hard-working backup team. It was hardly weather for camping, but Ford's tented workshop provided ideal cover as the team beavered away to keep Evans's Formula 2 victory bid on course.
You certainly look after your boys here.
We spoil them really, but then again they spoil me as well. Nothing's too much trouble for them, and it's the least they deserve really.
So you had a really good day yesterday, Gwyndaff?
Yes, it went well for us. We went quite quickly in the fog, took quite a bit of risks in it, and so far it paid off. But obviously we've got quite a long way to go again, but we're happy with progress so far.
Running second in Formula 2, Mark Higgins.
Tightens slightly through Deceptive Junction and left 6 and Max right. 80 left 4
Higgins
fast.
almost came unstuck there. Let's see how it looked from the outside. Back in the cockpit, Higgins was giving navigator Phil Mills some nervous moments.
Long right 3 late. Oh. That way, that way.
That spin alone cost him half a minute. This was very much a testing time for Higgins. With plenty of changes to the car, it was a case of getting to know you in his Nissan. But despite the odd hiccup, it was proving to be a satisfying start to the championship.
We've had a little bit of problems yesterday, but I think it's more me getting used to the car as opposed to the actual car. We've tried a longer gear lever this morning, so I can be a bit more positive with the gear change. But because we put a longer lever in now, it's unfortunately jumping out a couple of times. So it's 6 to 1, and, you know, just working out what's the best route to take. But I think we'll stick with this idea.
But you must be very pleased with your position overall.
Yeah, I mean, we've come here to learn the car and sort of see how things go. Laukonen's now, I think, got ahead of us. But we can let them crack on and just pick up the pieces. You know, it's a long championship, and that's what we're here for.
Higgins may have had his eyes on Tapio Laukonen, but the Finn was to see his challenge in Wales come to a premature end. He'd driven his Golf into a handy position, second in Formula 2 behind Gwyndaf Evans. Laukonen appeared to be going well.
Pitkä oikein, 4.80. Vasen 5 ja vasen 5.40.
Sadly for Tapio, his engine gave up in Sweet Hafren. His rally ended in bitter disappointment. A bad day at the office all round for Volkswagen. Yuko Puhaka had to contend without wipers. It lost him 4 minutes and any realistic hope of a good result. No such problems for reigning junior champion Neil Weirden, showing some style aboard his 306.
Long hairpin left, don't cut. 40. Long medium right. To hairpin left. 40.
The outlook for British rallying appears bright. Ryan Champion, another junior, chasing hard throughout. Over the hill, but barely out of short trousers, Justin Dale was to come out on top in the chase for the junior title in Wales. There was a monumental tussle for honours in the A6 class. David Higgins had held sway throughout the fog-bound first day. His Honda looked to have the measure of his rivals. But as mechanical problems began to hinder Higgins, the Swede Lars Goran Andersson and his Corsa made a real dogfight of it. Andersson and Higgins were enjoying their head-to-head.
The stage with the hard serves are better for a smaller powered car because it doesn't drain the power so much. So when you have the real soft boggy ones, the old power just goes. So I like the hard fast stages where if you're brave enough you keep your foot in, then hopefully that's where we can take some time back.
This is what we call a bit of a giant killing act because you've only got a small CC engine here.
Yeah, it's
1600.
Yeah, but it's a very good car to drive. It's easy to drive and working very well.
Oh, keep up the good work, and it's very nice to see you here on the championship.
Yeah, thank you.
It was just a 90 right, which was tightening with a big drop on the left, and I just went too wide and I couldn't quite see where the road went, and it was so unlucky, just 2 wheels and then onto our roof and down. But luckily there was enough spectators to put us on our wheels again.
But you're going to be able to continue all right?
Yeah, we'll be fine. Put a windscreen on and then we'll be off.
Is this the first time that you've rallied together?
It is, yes.
Can I ask you what you think of it so far?
I have every confidence in Jane. It was just very, very unfortunate. The wheels were just slightly off the road and it was just one of those things.
Very unlucky.
Go on, good luck, that's the spirit.
21-year-old Jane Gunningham is one of the pluckiest drivers around and set off to attack 29 stage miles without wipers before they could be made to work. But the Peugeot 306 would make it to the finish of the event, unlike another female crew in the Junior Championship.
Basically, we came around a kind of 90 left, and there was lots of logs on the right, and I tried to avoid the logs, got it crossed up, just managed to get grip just as we kind of hit a banking, and then we smashed our radiator, so it's kind of died on us.
Must have been a bit of a moment for you, Donna. I see that you sort of bent the foot panel there.
Yeah, it's not very strong, that one. But yeah, we were all right, apart from sore necks, I think. But apart from that, we're all right.
There were no such problems for the Simonite sisters. Stephanie was adapting well to her first left-hand drive outing, the sequential gearbox and the responsibility of a brand new works car. but there was a lot of learning to do.
Everything comes up quicker, you know, you're working so much harder and quicker in the car. Your reactions have got to be there just instantly. We've had a few moments where the sort of back ends come round and you just got to react naturally, which hopefully is happening.
Have you had any screaming and shouting and swearing between you?
No, not yet. Everything's run to plan, so just keep going now.
The new 1600cc engine planned for Steve Wedgbury's Skoda Felicia wasn't quite ready, so the Shropshire lad had to make do with 1300 for this first event. Harry Rovanpera had driven a good rally in the borrowed Mitsubishi, and his smooth but unspectacular style was rewarded with a 10th place overall and second in Group N. And a superb British debut for Erjan Kazaz in the Nissan, who coped with the strange conditions brilliantly to finish 9th. For young David Higgins with Cliff Simmons in the Honda Civic, it was a good start to the year. Despite having gearbox problems early in the event and running on only 3 cylinders on the longest stage of the rally. The spectators enjoyed the sight and sound of the new Megane kit car. Quickly adapting to the unfamiliar gravel, the Frenchman, Serge Jourdain, brought the sole surviving car into a creditable 7th. Despite losing over 4 minutes when he rolled the RS2000 into the scenery, Jarmo Cutoletto drove a storming event to finish 6th overall and 3rd in Formula 2.
And long left 6, opens over crest, over 130, then right 6, 60, left 6, 100, over crest long and right 6.
Mark Higgins and Phil Mills were pleased with their efforts, as were Nissan. They finished 5th overall and 2nd in Formula 2, despite this little display. Winning the Group N category on the Vauxhall Rally of Wales for the 2nd year running was Olli Harkey from Finland. This year, he finished 4th overall with co-driver Carl Mustelati and rates the Welsh Forest stages second only to, you know where, Finland. Fastest Formula 2 runner on every single stage of the 2nd day of the rally, Gwyndaf Evans and Howard Davies had put in an impeccable drive in the Ford RS2000. They finished 3rd overall and 1st in Formula 2 by 4 minutes.
Open, tight 9 left. Open, tight 9 left.
Ari Mokkonen and Voito Silander had been on their best behaviour after crashing heavily in Portugal in this very Escort Cosworth. They were rewarded here with 2nd overall. But winning the event by almost 5 minutes were Alistair McRae and David Senior. McRae had shown his class and was fastest on 10 of the 15 stages, despite suffering from food poisoning for all of the 2nd day.
Congratulations, Alistair. You're making a habit of this.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row down here and with a good result in the RAC, so Wales is good to me.
It's been a tough rally and very difficult conditions.
And how's the car gone?
It's gone perfectly. Gordon Spoon Engineering have put a fine car together here.
So this is exactly what you planned?
Exactly.
All the best for the championship, Gwyndaf.
So, the final results of the Vauxhall Rally of Wales. First, for the 2nd year running, Alistair McRae. 2nd, Ari Mokkonen, and 3rd, Gwyndaf Evans. Olli Harkey from Finland was 4th and winner of Group N. And the championship points after round 1. 5 different manufacturers represented, and Gwyndaf Evans at the head of the field. And in the Manufacturers' Championship, Ford with a healthy lead ahead of Nissan and Honda. Then Peugeot, VW and Skoda.
Max right 150, caution, max left over crest, deceptive, into right 5 plus, 40, left 5, and max right into right 5, don't cut, and max right over crest, 100, caution, bump into turn left 1 plus, narrow, and left 4 plus, don't cut, 150. Notes. Left 6 logs, maybe, into max right of a crest. 80 narrows, over kinks and logs, right 5, 100. Left 5 plus long, logs, 60. Caution crest into right 5, into left 5, 150. Max left, 130. Max right into crest, 100. Caution, right 5, into long left 3 plus of a bump. And max right of a crest long, 40. Crest straight, max right, 150. Left 6 long, then right 5 plus of a bump. Then left 6 cut of a crest, 80, caution bump. Into right 5 of a crest late, 60, left 6. 200 through kinks. Right 6, then left 5 long. 70 through posts, right 2 plus. 40. Max crest. 80. Right 5 of a crest cut, 150. Max crest. 110 of a crest, turn deceptive, open left 2. 150. Long left 4, 200, max crest long into max left, 200, max crest 150, caution, max crest over 100 down okay, long right 5 plus, tightens, and continues over 110, 40. Left 2 plus of a crest, logs and tight. Logs and tight, left 2 plus of a crest. Then long right 5 plus. 150. Long crest okay, 40. Max right past junction, 60. Caution, crest long and long right 3 narrows. 40. Then right 5 plus, 60. Stay right of a crest into left 5. And max crest long and left 6, 40. Crest long, 60. Caution, right 4 of a crest, deceptive. And long left 5 plus. 130. Caution, chicane, right entry. 130. Caution, going right into turn left 2, tight and narrow. Into right 1 plus around roundabout. Into max left. And long right 5 plus, don't cut, opens over 150. And right 6 continues to caution, chicane. 170. Left 5 into turn right 1 plus, roundabout. Left 5 plus, don't cut, exit. 100. Turn open left 3, fast exit. 200. Move right, first lap, stay right, into left 5 over gravel, turn right 1 plus, roundabout. 250, merge in. Turn second right 3 after chevron, left 2.